the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 10, a woman is dead after a high-speed chase and shootout with police on I-95. The driver of that car is still in a hospital bed, awaiting charges as soon as he's released. We are live with new details on this horrifying situation. Plus,
I didn't think I would ever see my boys again. I thought that they would find them missing in a river or...
A mother traumatized after her children kidnapped from their own school. Hear her desperate pleas tonight to make sure this never happens to another family.
Hi, everyone. It's really good to see you this evening. We're over the severe weather threat across the DMV. Now we are talking about temperatures tumbling 20 to 25 degrees. We'll look at that forecast coming up.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 10 on DCW 50. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Tasmeen Mahfouz. In our top story tonight, a terrifying reality for any parent. Their children being kidnapped from school, and that's exactly what one Southeast DC mother tells us happened at Turner Elementary School last month.
Yeah, she says the school released her kids to the wrong person. Our Marielle Carbone live tonight in the newsroom with this exclusive story tonight. Marielle, the kids were safely recovered a few hours after being taken.
Yeah, Marielle, the mom says this whole experience has been traumatizing.
Yeah, it has been, not only for her, but for the two kids as well, who are just 4 and 5 years old. Now, she says she no longer feels safe sending her kids to school, and she's speaking to us tonight because she doesn't want any other parent to have to go through this.
I have post-trauma that I'm going through, anxiety. You do not know the effects that it will bring on you as a mother to not know that you might not see your children when you get off of work at 5.
It's been 4 weeks since her kids were kidnapped from school. And Capria Phillips says the thoughts of what could have happened still haunt her every day. What was going through your head those few hours?
I thought the worst things in the world. I didn't think I would ever see my boys again. I thought that they would find them missing in a river.
Phillips says she got a phone call while at work on March 7th from Turner Elementary School, where her two boys, 5-year-old Harlem and 4-year-old Santana, went to school.
They called me and to ask me if I knew a person by a name of Jessica.
She didn't, so she rushed to the school, only to find out the kids were handed off to this person, Jessica.
My children were basically given away that day, and then the situation was swept under the rug.
According to a court affidavit, the woman, who has no relation to the children but was previously involved with the children's father, showed up to the school. She used a fictitious name of Jessica Smart and stated she was the mother of the kids. The school failed to check the ID and confirm she was the legal guardian.
They did not do the 100% identification check, which they have platform on the side of the school building.
The woman left with the kids under a false pretense, later using the kids as leverage to contact their father. Police found her, arrested her, and the kids were brought back safely. The woman has been charged with 2 counts of kidnapping. Phillips pulled her kids from the school.
Trust is broken. My heart is broken. Someone was that careless that day. I don't give you a second chance.
DC Public Schools declined an interview, but in a statement, the district said DC Public Schools takes any incident or allegations regarding student safety and well-being very seriously. The Turner Elementary School administration worked closely with DCPS Police and the Metropolitan Police Department to promptly address this matter on March 7th. Phillips is calling for accountability so no other parent ever has to go through this.
Just more due diligence, more caring, more love. If you love your students enough, you will love to know who you're giving them back away to.
She also wants an apology.
Genuinely apologize.
Yeah, would go a long way to have an apology.
A long, long way.
And Phillips says that all of this has been really difficult to explain to the boys, who still have questions and wake up with nightmares because of this. Chris and Tasmeen, she also says the older son actually asked her if she was even their mother after she changed her hair, because they're so confused by all of this. Reporting in the newsroom tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Ariel, thank you. And breaking now at 10, a man critically hurt in a crash, shutting down a section of a busy road in Prince George's County. Police say he was hit by a car in Langley Park. Our Yamari Sase is live on the scene on New Hampshire Avenue, which is closed off between Lebanon Street and University Boulevard in Yamari. Police have just released new information saying this is now a hit-and-run investigation.
Yeah, that's right. They did confirm that this is actually a hit and run situation. And even when we arrived on the scene, there was no car on the scene. As you can see now, part of New Hampshire Avenue has actually been shut down for the past 2 hours. Police trying to piece together how this accident took place. But as you mentioned earlier, what we do know so far by Prince George's County Police Department is that one man was struck near this road, near Lebanon Street and University Boulevard, and this is an ongoing investigation. No word yet on what type of vehicle was involved in this accident, but we will continue to keep you updated as we learn more. For now, reporting in Langley Park, Maryland, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
All right, tonight we're learning new details about the New York mother who died after she was kidnapped and then caught in a shootout on 95 in Northern Virginia. Police say Tatiana David was abducted and was inside the car with the father of her young child when the shooting happened late last night. It was her 34th birthday. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla joining us live from Virginia State Police headquarters in Fairfax County. And Max, we're learning more from police about exactly who was involved.
Well, we know on the Virginia State Police side it was several troopers. On the Fairfax County Police side tonight, we're learning that one of its officers fired their weapon. It was a 7-year veteran of the force in the K-9 unit. But as we're learning more about the officers, the investigation just about 24 hours into its beginning, which means there are still many things that we're still working to learn. Tonight, a family is grieving the loss of 34-year-old Tatiana David as questions remain about just what happened here last night.
South before the 148 in the woods. Shots fired.
What we know from Virginia State and New York State Police is that David was abducted by this man, 34-year-old Michael Davis, a former partner and the father of David's 4-year-old. David's brother, Emmanuel Espada, told the Washington Post she made every effort to include Michael Davis in her child's life, and Michael Davis made every effort to make her life a living hell.
Man. Yeah, I wish I could have done something.
James Rice says he lives in this apartment complex in the unit below David's in Ithaca, New York. Rice said Wednesday morning he heard screaming.
So then I looked out, and that's when I seen her get kidnapped and everything, and nothing I could have done.
Hours later and hundreds of miles away, a Virginia state trooper pulled over the white SUV for wrong license plates.
The helicopter of the vehicle just took off, so it's most likely going to be involved in this abduction.
But Davis sped away, leading to a nearly 20-mile chase that ended here in Prince William County.
We need a shield. We need a shield.
And ended in a shootout. Police say Davis shot at them and they fired back. Davis is in critical condition from his injuries. We don't know exactly how they occurred. David was shot, we don't know by whom, and died. An autopsy is being conducted to determine cause of death. Her brother wants answers, telling the Post, "I need dash cams, I need body cams, I need information." And as the family pushes for answers, we know tonight that the Virginia State troopers involved are on administrative leave. The one Fairfax County officer we mentioned earlier is on modified restrictive duty, both of those in accordance with policies for both Virginia State Police and Fairfax County. Tonight we're also hearing from a friend of Tatiana's who said she hadn't known her long, but it didn't take long to realize that Tatiana was special, just 34 years old. Reporting live in Fairfax County, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
All right, let's get a first check on the forecast. The storm system moving in earlier this evening, but now it's clearing for most of the DMV.
Yeah, so what's in store overnight and into tomorrow? Let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb. Hey there, Janessa.
Hi, yeah, we had a few storms this afternoon, severe thunderstorm warnings. The bulk of that has pushed out of the area. Our friends in Delaware out towards the Chesapeake Bay really seeing the brunt of that at this hour. All the clearing now starting to take place. Looks like they have stopped all severe thunderstorm watches across the area. And so now we're just watching a stalled out front. What that means for us is that we will see increasing clouds here throughout your overnight into your Friday and Saturday as well. I know you want to see a good amount of sunshine. That unfortunately doesn't happen until a Sunday. So for your holiday weekend, we're off to kind of a dicey start with much cooler air that's going to be in place. Look at our official highs for today. Still well above average. 86 for the suburbs of DC. Fredericksburg, you had had a few storms out that way that provided a good amount of lightning and hail today. 87 due to our dew points surging up there. The mugginess was definitely intact with a very good summer feel across the DMV. With this front, our dew points are going to continue to trickle down here after midnight, and waking up tomorrow morning, it will definitely be noticeable. Hey, we are about to enter a space that is very quiet weather-wise for the next 7 to 8 days. We'll check that out coming up.
Janessa, thank you. So in Northern Virginia, 2 teen boys are in the hospital after being shot next to a school playground in Stafford County. Deputies responded to Sharon Lane off of Parkway Boulevard just after 4 today. They found one victim shot in the back. A second teenager was found shot in the leg. Deputies say a person is in custody. It's still unclear what led up to the shooting, but just a short time ago. The sheriff says they found 3 guns in the woods nearby. We're working to get more details.
And developing right now, it's now been a little more than 24 hours since a federal grand jury returned an indictment against Frederick County, Maryland Sheriff Chuck Jenkins.
Yes, according to the indictment, Jenkins faces charges for conspiracy and false statements in order to get machine guns. As our Michaela Newton reports, Sheriff Jenkins isn't going anywhere just yet.
That's right. Well, everyone I spoke with today told me that while they're not calling for the sheriff's resignation, they say that they wish they would have known this before it was time to vote. Amid a federal indictment and investigation, Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins and a Frederick gun dealer are now facing charges for their part in a plan to get machine guns illegally. Chuck Jenkins has been the sheriff of Frederick County since his election in 2006 and was most recently re-elected in 2022. In a press conference Wednesday, Todd Weibel, spokesperson for the Frederick County Sheriff's Department, said the sheriff knew a year ago that there was an investigation, but that it came as a surprise to the department.
So the question summarizes, was Sheriff Jenkins expecting this indictment? The answer is absolutely not. He's been fully cooperative with the DOJ and the ATF the entire time. We had no knowledge that this was happening today until the press release came out from the DOJ at about 12:30.
A spokesperson from Maryland Governor Wes Moore sent a statement to DC News Now saying Sheriff Jenkins is facing serious criminal charges that are worthy of investigation. No one is above the law. We expect high standards from all public officials. Some residents say they wish the public had known about this before election time last fall.
This issue should have been put in front of the voters. The voters should have known that there was an investigation so that the voters had a chance to make a decision whether or not it should be a factor in who we elect as a county sheriff.
From what I understand of the sheriff, it's not stunning information that something a little untoward might happen.
In a statement, Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater says in part, quote, the sheriff is a duly elected official serving in a role established in the Maryland Constitution. The county executive and county council play no role in the operation of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office beyond funding the division. If convicted, Jenkins and Kropp face a maximum of 5 years in federal prison for the conspiracy for false statements and records maintained by a federal firearms licensee and for false statements to federal law enforcement. Sheriff Jenkins is scheduled for an initial court appearance and arraignment next week, Wednesday the 12th. Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for DC News Now.